onto the sequels. What film deserved a sequel but didn't get one? Now, you want to go first on that one?
I'll go first because it came on cable recently, and I DVR'd it to watch it later, and I watched it later, and I just enjoyed the crap out of it. I hadn't watched it in years. Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah.
John Carpenter, mid-'80s.
1986.
86, Kurt Russell. Freaking classic. We watched it 1,000 times as kids and teenagers. Love that movie. I know it totally stunk up the box office, and it was like one of Carpenter's last studio movies or something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's just a great movie. It's fun. It's entertaining. It's your summery, kind of a summer popcorn kind of a movie. It's just got everything you want, especially if you're a guy and you like, if you like the summer, if you're a guy, you like guy summer movies, they're geared for 14-year-olds. It's a perfect movie.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Love that movie.
It's on my top 100. I think it's great.
Can't praise it enough. It's like one of those movies I have nothing negative to say about it. I love everything about it. Like literally everything about it I love. And I wish to God they'd made more of them. And it wasn't in the credits. They're like there'll be more adventures or something like that.
Well, certainly was the little tag where the monster comes up behind Jack Burton.
But they never said. Remember who Buckaroo Banzai?
No, it did. More on the way.
Never got one. That'd be my number 2. I wish Buckaroo Banzai would have got a sequel. That would awesome.
but Big Trouble in Little China was the sequel. The same guy wrote it, both. And what Carpenter did was he adapted it into a martial arts movie, but it was actually the script was to be the sequel for Buckaroo Banzai.
That's right.
And
I forgot about
that. That writer-director for Buckaroo Banzai he was squabbling with the studio, so they gave it over to Carpenter, and Carpenter took it
about that,
and he moved it over. So in a way, Big Trouble in Little China is the indirect sequel to Buckaroo Banzai.
And I would say Buckaroo Banzai I'd put on both these lists. It's a guilty pleasure. Plus, it should have got a sequel. Another shit movie.
But that's a great choice. All I'll say is that film, it was kind of ahead of its time, and the studio didn't know how to market it because the hero it was a different kind of a hero. The point was he was really the sidekick, and that really was.
That was the end joke.
That was the joke. It's like guys, if you don't get that Kurt Russell's supposed to be the sidekick. And he kind of goes on a misadventure.
Does his whole
then you're not going to get the movie.
Has the whole John Wayne demeanor.
He acts like he's the lead, but he's not really the lead. Anyway, what film deserved a reboot, but didn't get one?
Did you have one? Did you have a?
I'm sorry. I skipped me. Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow. I think it was a film that was a great movie. Totally had a character where he could have many adventures. The studio, just like with Big Trouble, didn't know what to do with it. They just kind of dumped it late September. They didn't really do a whole lot of marketing for it. I think they were I don't think they got it. They were just ready to. They were just ready to move on. But that film was. It's the vision of it. It has a blockbuster vibe to it, very much like you'd see from Avengers or some of these other films that you'll see. Now we've gotten used to, or almost spoiled. Certainly the last 5-6 years, there's like 3 or 4 films a year that have this really humongous budget and the vision of it, just where they just poured so much money into the effects. And Sky Captain has that vibe to it, but it didn't do well at the box office, and that kind of killed as a franchise. But it's a shame if you have not seen Sky Captain, it's one of the great movies of all time, and it kind of is a hybrid, just like Big Trouble. So it's kind of interesting that we picked those two.
Well, Sky Captain was a precursor for all of those completely digitized movies. Some good, some bad. Sin City good, The Spirit bad.
Yeah,
and
there was that too.
And a lot of the tentpole blockbusters now use a lot of methods that Sky Captain sort of made normal. So it was ahead of its time in a lot of ways.
It really was, but I mean, it had the action. I mean, there's a scene where
It's a good movie on its own.
Sky Captain is after like a drone, and he's going in and out of skyscrapers and stuff like that. So this is not a movie that's boring and you're just looking at landscapes. It's an actual action sci-fi adventure that's every bit as exciting.
What they call it, pulp sci-fi. That's a good description of it.
Yeah, you name any exciting,
unique
sci-fi film of the last 10 years, and it's right up there.
And Angelina Jolie is got
Edge of Tomorrow, whatever,
And she's all hot and everything.
And it was Jolie in her prime. So
exactly.
There you go. And Gwyneth Paltrow, she was.
I like Iron Man.
When she went mainstream with Iron Man, but before that, she was in Sky Captain.
Yeah.
People forget about that.
She was still in the era where I hated her. I still hated her in that era.
She was still doing like small films and
she'd won Shakespeare
self-important movies.
She had won the Oscar for Shakespeare in Love, so she was Mrs. I have a fake British accent now, like Madonna and a bunch of others. And you know what I mean,
right?
And then I didn't like her again until Iron Man. Iron Man won me back over.
Yeah,
to Gwyneth Paltrow. I kind of dismissed that Gwyneth Paltrow was in that movie, and I just sort of overlooked it, and I just watched the rest of the movie. I don't know if that makes any sense. I just didn't like her at that point. I like her now, fine.
I'd be interested to now watch the movie, what your reaction would be, because she really kind of nails that, fast talking.
I like Sky Captain. That's a 4-star movie in my book. I like it. I've got nothing negative to say about it. I mean, I liked it. I have nothing, I just didn't like her as a person.